Are you committed to fulfilling your potential? Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you had a map of the path? Well, today I want to gift you with exactly that. A direct roadmap that shows you how to navigate the journey up the never-ending upward spiral of fulfilling your potential and divine purpose. This is your invitation to become the alchemist of your life. You decode your heaven on earth and go through the alchemical process. The alchemist is a master of himself so that he can master life. People thought alchemists were turning lead into gold, but they're really crystallizing their soul into form. Alchemize your golden potential. Welcome to the golden life. Are you committed to fulfilling your potential? Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you had a map of the path? Well, today I want to gift you with exactly that. A direct roadmap that shows you how to navigate the journey up the never-ending upward spiral of fulfilling your potential and divine purpose. Now, if you're new to the show, my name's David Gilbert. Welcome to the Golden Life, and I'm here to help you become the alchemist so that you can master yourself and crystallize your golden potential into form. Today, we're going to jump right in. And instead of me sharing a story about myself, I want you to go on an inward journey today. And I want you to use your imagination to see where you may have experienced each of the 5 steps I'm about to talk about, or use your imagination to go in the future and see yourself going through all these different 5 parts of the journey. So, jumping right in today. Number 1, when it comes to fulfilling your potential, follow thy call for adventure by following thy passion past your comfort. What does this mean? Well, how does every hero start their journey? First, they must choose to leave the comfort of their home, or their symbolic home, aka the comfort of their comfort zone. And this sometimes happens by choice or sometimes by circumstance, but this is really to say that deep down, you know there's some calling, right? That you have this whisper that sometimes you just have to get still enough to hear, and by listening to it, you start to build a relationship with your subconscious mind. And just for, if you don't know, in case you haven't heard about this, right, we have our conscious mind, which is about 5 to 10% of your processing power. We covered in a past episode. Your subconscious mind, which is that other 95 to 90% of your processing power. But I also share this because your higher self is actually connected to your subconscious. So this is why when you have those moments of inspiration, maybe you're doing something where you got into a flow state and you have more access to your subconscious. Or you're doing something that's a repetitive thing, like taking a shower or driving, and you kind of wander off and your subconscious pops up with that idea. Or you are sleeping and you have this weird dream, but it felt like a glimpse of what is being called of you to step into your potential, right? That little flash of inspiration. Well, there you go. There's your higher self, once again, talking through your subconscious. And when that happens, I'm just talking from my own experience here, sometimes your conscious mind will get in the way. And this could be because you have some limiting belief, right? You have some lead, maybe a past emotional wound, and you think you can't do the thing, or you think it's out of your limitations because you can't leave whatever circumstance or situation you're in, and basically being a victim to circumstance, and you just can't go do that thing that you hear that whisper or feel that pull, like we talked about in a previous episode, to go into that desire and go past your comfort zone. But this is step number 1. We must leave the nest of our comfort zone if we wish to step into our potential. And if this is something that shows up for you, go check out the episode, Know Thy 3 Levels of Resistance. Because this is what I would label as level 1 resistance, right? The fear of pain or pain of fear. And I give you a tool how to push past that and get past your comfort zone. So coming back to your own journey, what is that calling that you could remember taking action on that you had no idea what was on the other side. You were going to jump into the unknown, right? Was it a big life decision, maybe to go to a new school or start a new job or go into a relationship? What was that for you? Or are you in a moment now where you have some calling to make a big change in your life or some type of change, and you just haven't been ready to take action? Well, then you get to use your imagination to go through the full journey today. So just to drive home, number one last time, if you want to be the hero of your own story, if you want to walk the hero's journey, you're going to have to push past your comfort zone. Now going into number 2, aim for perfection of the highest goal and take it as far as ye can. This is to say, in life, we know we are these physical beings embodied. And we can unconsciously go through life, which means if we do that, we're going to let pain and pleasure dictate our life path, right? We're going to avoid pain and go towards pleasure. We are mammals. We are biological, living beings. And if we give to our physiology, that's just our natural path. So the beautiful thing about being human is not only are we in this physical form, but we have the golden essence that is our core, right? We can go back to episode 1, our golden essence. Highly recommend you check that out if you haven't already. And with that, we have the ability to consciously choose which path we go on. Are we just going to give in to our unconscious behaviors and just let that, choosing the easy thing, choosing the easy pleasure, choosing the quick dopamine hit dictate our entire life? Or are we going to choose the higher path? And this is the phase where you feel that call to go do something and you take that leap into the unknown, but you're not really exactly sure where you're headed, but you start to get this glimpse, or you start to get this knowing or feeling of what this highest goal looks like. For ourselves, sometimes this can be a spark in our childhood, what that thing you wanted to do as a kid, right? When you were just purely in flow all the time and you didn't have all those limiters that we do now, limiting beliefs and emotional baggage and all the things, and you just could see that highest goal. Or maybe now you just kind of intuitively know what that highest goal is for you, or you have some idea, but just by the fact of placing that highest vision for yourself that's outside the fence of feeling comfortable, that's like it's something you can do, but more into the past the fence, into the realm of impossibility, well, that's when you set yourself up to truly walk the highest path. So by aiming for perfection of your highest potential, by aiming for full mastery of yourself, then saying you're going to take it as far as you can. This will keep you on the upward path or the upward spiral to your fullest potential. Now going on to number 3, recommit to the ultimate goal with no expectations of outcome. Well, guess what happens when you jump into the unknown and you start walking the highest path to your fullest potential? Well, you have 100% chance, likelihood of falling short, right? Of tripping over yourself, of taking a couple steps back. Like you're going to fail, yet we beat ourselves up over this. At least I do. And then you end up sitting on the ground for way longer than you should. But this is really to say, you're going to hit a roadblock. You're going to hit a challenge. You're going to have internal baggage that comes up or some expectations along the path that will not get met. And this is really to say, you just know you're going to fail. But when you do fail, you come back to the strongest force to stay on the path. Recommitment. So just like every day resets with the setting sun, well, with the start of a new dawn, you recommit yourself to the highest vision and to walking that path. So this is really a two-part process of coming back to forgiveness, because you understand you're being human, and by being human, you're perfectly imperfect. Therefore, you are going to mess up. So when you do, the quicker you can practice forgiveness and practice rule number 6, not take yourself so damn seriously, well, the sooner you can stand up and start walking the path to your highest potential. Now, what's going to be one of the biggest external blocks on the path now that you're on the path? Well, that's going to be not seeing instant results or not seeing your expectations met. So this is why we must step into releasing expectations of outcomes. Because if you have the courage to step into the unknown, if you're able to commit to your highest vision that and you start walking that path, well, it's only a matter of time before beautiful things are going to unfold for you. Now, our personality self can be like, well, I've been doing this for 10 days. Like, where are my results, right? You go work out for 2 weeks and you're like, where are my abs? But if you're really walking the path to self-mastery and fulfilling your potential, you understand this is a never-ending spiral. So you don't take these external blocks, external challenges as seriously. Because a little reframe tool you can use is 1000x. That if you were to do this 1,000 times already, how would you start to go through this challenge? I'm guessing you'd find a way to make it a little bit more fun. You wouldn't be trying to manage the outcome as much, and you'd be enjoying it a little bit. Go like, I already been through this. I know what to expect. I just got to do these things, get back through the process, and I'm good. And this is why we must step into releasing expectations of outcomes. And this also comes back to, because what is the only thing you have control of in the entire universe? I know I've shared this in a previous episode, so if you've been paying attention, it is, yes, yourself. Therefore, the masters, the alchemists, the ones who can transform their lives by transforming themselves, are the ones who master themselves and simultaneously accept external reality as it is. Now, going on to number 4. Sacrifice yourself and let go of everything that holds you back. So you can kind of visualize yourself on the journey of life. Think about some time where you jumped into the unknown. You left the nest of your comfort zone. And as you did, you didn't really know what you were going, but you had this vision of something big for yourself. Actually, the highest vision of your life, of what you could be or what you could create. And you start walking that. And you recommit after you fall back down and you let go of expectations. Well, you're going to keep walking up this upward spiral. Sooner or later, you're going to get tired because you're holding on to things that no longer served you. So number 4 is to say, by choosing your highest potential means who you are becoming will guarantee that you have to sacrifice something to become that person. So this can be as tangible as beliefs, values, your perspective or model of the world, certain behaviors or thoughts or emotions that show up a lot. And this is to say there's this old version of you, and then there's that golden version of you. And as you alchemize more of the golden version of yourself, you must release or transmute the dross of your outdated being. So you can start to view this in actually a more poetic or artistic way. Like it's actually a beautiful act of sacrifice to devote yourself to the highest way of being or who you could become. And with that, you are sacrificing the old parts of yourself. Just like a big, strong, beautiful, majestic tree that bears a lot of fruit, how do you get the tree to grow up as strong and healthy as possible? Well, throughout the years, you go and trim the old branches. So just like yourself, right? We got to grow our roots in the ground so we could strive as high as possible and bear the most beautiful fruit that we have that's truly living into your purpose and serving your divine gifts into the world. And with that, not all your branches are gonna serve you to grow that beautiful fruit. You actually have to cut them away so you have more energy to continue up the path. Now, finally, number 5, stay in a passionate state and re-examine your belief systems when out of divine flow. And did a whole episode on how to step into spiritual flow. But this is the part of the journey where you start to become unstoppable, right? You stepped outside of your comfort zone. You started to aim for the highest vision possible for yourself or what you're going to create or serve to the world. You recommit when you know you're going to fall short. And when you do fall short, and then you release expectations of what it should look like to walk the path and what you should receive when you walk the path. And then you're willing to sacrifice old parts of yourself. Now visualize yourself through this journey of life all the way up there. At that point, you really start to embody the frame of 1000X. You're like, I got this. I'm willing to let go of my old pieces. I'm not looking to have my expectations met of what I think it should look like. And at this point, you're probably getting some fruits of your labor, some taste of those fruits. So this is to say, this is going to cultivate internal power. And over time, that power is going to feel like divine joy. One where you are driven by the passion of simply creating that impossible vision, of simply crystallizing as much of your golden potential. And you're just passionate for the sake of the process of living into that every day. And this passion starts to become like a rudder on a boat. It's going to start leading you to the next right step. And then you'll gain more trust with yourself. And then you'll have this strong pull, just like I shared, in how to step into spiritual flow. And it's going to help you navigate life. And this is where you really start to enter spiritual flow. And this is where your limiting stories really dissolve and disappear, and you feel connection with all that you do. You feel connection with Source itself, and you experience life in a completely different way. And the internal sacred union is complete, and you're starting to truly give birth to your own philosopher's child, where you now live in a new way of being, where not only thinking and how you normally navigate life, but the heart is unlocked. And you can just feel this highly charged, almost ecstatic state. And when you drop out of this state, you realize you've done so much work to get into that state that now there's simply some belief system that's getting in the way. And it's probably tied to you thinking you should be somewhere else in the situation, or you should be showing up in some different way, or some limiting belief system that dropped you out of that state. So that's why at this point, now you're already outside of your comfort zone. You're already walking the path. You're already letting go and sacrificing the old parts of yourself. So now you realize it's just a mental game. And there's just some old beliefs that need to be readjusted so that you could come back to feeling that passionate state. And if you've done all that, it could also be a sign, and you catch yourself not in that passionate state or that spiritual flow anymore, might mean it's just time to restart the process all over again and start back at number 1. Because I use the metaphor of a spiral purposefully, right? If we go up the spiral, we'll eventually hit a point that's kind of equal to the other point, and it's almost like a reset to get to the next level, just like a video game of life. Exactly like a video game of life. So those are the 5 steps to fulfilling your golden potential. And I hope by now you could understand that it's not about this idea of actually living and being at your potential, because if you are a divine being made of the infinite energy of the cosmos, well, guess what your potential is? Limitless. So then you understand that it is truly about the journey, not the destination. And if you come back to these 5 reminders, it's going to help you get on the path to staying on that upward spiral to truly fulfilling your golden potential and purpose in this lifetime. And if you do that, my friends, you are going to have the most fulfilling, rewarding life possible. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm interested to hear where you are at in this journey, or you feel like you are at. And helpful tip, the journey of life is more fun with friends. So my big ask is, if this lit something up in you, if this gave you an insight that's going to help you on the path, well, share it with that ally that you are walking the path with. Whatever friend that is committed to growth, share this with them, have a conversation about it, see how you can keep each other accountable on the path. You can even use this, like, hey, where do you feel like you are right now in life? Oh, I'm at level 3. Oh, keep me accountable. When something happens, just remind me to recommit. Oh, thank you, friend. And then you have a beautiful relationship and you both get to walk the path together and have more fun along the way. So stay golden and keep alchemizing your golden potential.